In this video, I will show you every player that you need to succeed for DraftKings Showdown Captain Mode on Thursday Night Football as two winless AFC North teams become one winner and one loser. My name's Quick Pick Nick, and after simulating tens of thousands of lineups ranked by fantasy projections, I'm here to give you the locks and lotteries for the 6-man contest in this divisional matchup in less than 5 minutes. If you like this kind of fast-paced calculated content, subscribe and stay tuned for more videos, including a FanDuel iteration of this exact slate dropping tomorrow. To start off with the lock, one player I would consider necessary for success in this slate is Joe Mixon. Mixon was the only player to appear in all 10 of the top 10 ranked lineups by expected fantasy points, and after taking a deeper look at Mixon's stats, it becomes clear why this powerhouse running back deserves a spot in your lineup. Mixon averaged nearly 15 fantasy points per game in the 2019 season, and against the Browns in particular, Mixon scored 30.6 and 33.6 fantasy points. These numbers would tend to indicate that Mixon deserves a spot in the MVP position, where he can get 1.5 times points, which he very well may, but he seemed to have a tougher time against the Chargers in Week 1 than what we've come to expect from Mixon in 2019. In addition, there isn't a clear-cut configuration that spends all of the cash, including Mixon at MVP, but he most certainly deserves a spot as one of the 5 flex players given his historic success against Cleveland, as well as his relatively cheap price. For the second lock of this lineup, my model recommends the secondary kicker, running back for the Browns, Kareem Hunt. Hunt has already seen a more dominant role in Cleveland's backfield this year, accumulating both more carries and targets than Nick Chubb in the first game. Expect Hunt to be a PPR machine against the Bengals, as he's the most popular target for Baker Mayfield to toss the ball if he's in trouble, which he typically is given Cleveland's constantly collapsing offensive line. Moving on from the locks, there will actually be 2 limbo picks in this lineup. A limbo pick is a player with less certainty surrounding him compared to the locks, but still with statistical evidence supporting their expected performance. The first limbo pick is going to be our MVP, and also the guy who filmed more commercials than scored points in his opener against the Ravens, that being Baker Mayfield. On the surface, this pick definitely looks questionable, especially putting him at the MVP position. However, upon closer inspection, Mayfield is actually primed to get your money's worth this Thursday. Out of the top 10 lineups, Mayfield was at MVP 6 times, placing at flex in 2 other simulations as well. The reason I can see for this placement is his much lower price than Joe Burrow, who would cost $900 more at the MVP position, and the more favorable matchup. Last week, Tyrod Taylor wasn't able to put up huge fantasy numbers against the Bengals, but this is mainly due to the fact that the Chargers' lone touchdown was the result of a rush. Otherwise, Tyrod Taylor and LA performed quite well in the passing game, netting more than 200 yards in the air. Mayfield should be considered a better quarterback overall than Taylor, given the fact that Mayfield won the starting job in Cleveland over Taylor in 2018, and should also be expected to gain a few passing touchdowns, as he's more likely to toss some quick screens Hunt's way within the red zone. The second limbo pick here is Giovanni Bernard, who will come into the lineup as the cheapest player you will be able to find and still put out solid digits. Bernard had a decent outing Week 1, pulling in 4 of his 5 targets for 20 yards and rushing once for 7. While these numbers don't exactly add up to huge fantasy output, Bernard was on the field for 30% of the Bengals' offensive snaps, meaning he will be a reliable outlet for Joe Burrow on short routes. As a pass catcher in this PPR format, Bernard could find value by amassing shorter receptions. Finally, for the 2 lottery picks, my model recommends Jarvis Landry and Nick Chubb. Landry has seemingly usurped Odell Beckham Jr. as Mayfield's favorite target and was able to secure more receptions and yardage than Beckham on Sunday against the Ravens. He's not too expensive either, so if he's able to catch more short passes and routes on Thursday to help keep the pressure off Mayfield, Landry should be able to outscore his price. The last pick for this lineup is Chubb, simply because it nicely offloads the rest of the budget. Chubb certainly isn't completely irrelevant on the Browns offense, as he is still the go-to for goal line draws and third and short rushes, but it is clear that Hunt is the primary option for bigger plays. Even though it might look like Chubb may lose some of the snaps to Hunt, Chubb was rather efficient against the tough Baltimore rush defense, managing 6 yards per carry. If you don't think Chubb will get the ball though, Tyler Boyd is an alternate option who will leave some money in the budget, so I'll go with Chubb to spend as much as possible. And that's what my model was able to come up with for Thursday Night Football on DraftKings Captain Showdown mode. If you found this video helpful in building your own lineup, be a friend, tell a friend. It helps me out more than you could imagine and grows the Quick Pick network. This has been Quick Pick Nick, the intersection for sports, data analysis, and speed. Thanks for watching.